Welcome friends to another episode in our series exploring the rich and diverse intellectual traditions of early Islamic theology. Today we focus on a crucial chapter or the crucial aspect in the evolution of the Mutazila, especially the Bahshamiyya subsect of Bahshamite school. And this branch played a significant role in shaping later Mutazilite thought and is particularly important due to its reception and integration into Shi'ism, making it a bridge between Sunni and Shi'i theological discussions. We'll also explore the key figures, ideas, and reasons behind this unique development. The origins of the Mutazila are often traced to early figures such as Ghailan al-Dimashqi and Wasil ibn Atta, continuing through successive generations. Among its prominent members is Sharif al-Murtada, who authored Al-Munya wal-Amal, a key text documenting the different classes of Mu'tazila. We can categorize some of the most influential figures and the sects they established. So the first sect we have al-Wasiliyya, and this sect follows Abu Hudayfa Wasil ibn Atta al-Ghazal, a freedman of Banu Dabba. Initially a student of Hasan al-Basri, Wasil parted ways with him when he introduced his doctrine of intermediate states or intermediate rank, al-Manzila bain al-Manzilatayn. He is credited as the founder of the Mutazilite school and particularly known for establishing its 5 foundational principles. Now the second sect that we have is al-Amrawiyya, and it was founded by Amr ibn Ubayd ibn Bab, a freedman of Banu Tamim, and he was a contemporary of Wasil ibn Atta. His grandfather was captured in Kabul and Amr himself lived in Basra, and after Wasil's death, Amr succeeded him as the leader of Mutazila. While aligning with Wasil ibn Atta's ideas, Amr expanded upon them in the various ways. And now the third sect we have al-Hudayliyya, and this sect was founded by Abu al-Hudayl al-Allaf al-Basri, and he was a disciple of Uthman ibn Khalid al-Tawil, who himself was a student of Wasil ibn Atta. Abu al-Huday's Mutazili doctrines were heavily influenced by Greek philosophy, shaping his unique contributions to this movement. He died during the Caliphate of Mutawakkil. And finally, the fourth sect that we have is al-Nadamiyya. Abu Ishaq Ibrahim ibn Sayyar, known as al-Nadam, was born in 185 Hijri. He earned his nickname for his occupation as the bead stringer in the market of Basra. Al-Nadam contributed significantly to Mutazilite thought before his death. The Mutazila eventually split into approximately 22 different subsects. While they all adhere to the core Mutazilite principles, notably the 5 foundational doctrines or the 5 foundational principles, they diverged on the other theological points. Some of the other sects may include like al-Thumamiyya, al-Mu'ammariyya, al-Bashariyya, al-Hishamiyya, al-Muradiyya, al-Ja'fariyya, al-Aswariyya, al-Hadithiyya, al-Salihiyya, al-Jahiziyya, al-Shahamiyya, al-Khayyatiyya, al-Jubbā'ī, al-Ka'biyya, al-Bahshamiyya, and al-Himyariyya. However, our focus will be al-Bahshamiyya, and the reasons we have mentioned in the beginning that it has played a remarkable role in crafting later Mutazilite thought and is particularly significant due to its reception and integration into Shi'ism. And to connect better, we will recommend to watch our previous video. Anyway, it is unclear who took over as the head of the Basran Mutazilite school after Abū Hāshim. Abdul Jabbar mentions that a group of the senior disciples, Mutaqaddimun, passed down Mutazilite teaching from Abū Hāshim, naming only 2 specific individuals, Ibn al-Khallad and Abu Abdullah al-Basri. However, Abu Abdullah eventually became the leader of the Bahshamiyya school and was succeeded by Abdul Jabbar al-Hamadani, the author of the comprehensive theological work Kitab al-Mughni fi Abwab al-Tawhid wal-Adl, which is largely preserved along with the other key doctrinal texts. Originally an Ash'arite theologian, though he remained a Shafi throughout his life, while most Mutazilites of his time were Hanafis, Abdul Jabbar joined the Mutazila in his youth and became a student of Abu Abdullah al-Basri in Baghdad. And after Abu Abdullah's death, Abdul Jabbar was soon recognized as the new head of Bahshamite school of thought, and during his time the Mutazilite movement flourished more than ever before. The Buwayyid Wazir Abul Qasim Ismail ibn al-Abbad or Sahib ibn Abbad, a former student of Abdullah and an influential Mutazilite figure, played a key role in spreading the Mutazilite teachings and thoughts throughout the Buwayyid territories, with Ray become the intellectual center of the movement. When Ibn Abbad appointed Abdul Jabbar as the chief judge in Buwayyid lands in 1977, he attracted a significant number of the students and followers, both Mutazilites and Zaydis, to Ray, and it has cemented its place as the leading hub of the Mutazilite thought. Abdul Jabbar was succeeded as the head of the Bahshamiyya school of thought by Abu Rashid al-Nishapuri, who was later followed by Ibn Mattawai, one of Abdul Jabbar's younger students. Abu Rashid, initially a follower of the Baghdadi school, shifted to the doctrine of the Bahshamite under the Abdul Jabbar's influence. His notable works include Kitab al-Masail fi al-Khilaf bayn al-Basriyin wal-Baghdadiyin, comparing the beliefs of the Basran and Baghdadi school of thought, and Kitab al-Masail fi Khilaf al-Usul, a theological summary based on the Abdul Jabbar's Kitab al-Mughni. Ibn Mattawai joined Abdul Jabbar as a student when Abdul Jabbar was old enough, meaning the time together was likely brief. Now, after Abdul Jabbar's death, Ibn Mattawai continues his studies under the Abu Rashid. Ibn Mattawai's most famous work is At-Tadhkira fi Ahkam al-Jawahir wal-A'rad, a major Mutazilite text on the natural philosophy, covering topics like atoms, Jawahir, and accidents, A'rad. One of the last major figures of the Bahshamiyya school of thought was Abu Sa'd al-Muhassib ibn Muhammad al-Bayhaqi, and he was also known as Hakim al-Jashmi, a Hanafi in law and a Mutazili in theology. He later embraced Zaydism. His most significant and important work is the Sharh Uyun al-Masail, a detailed commentary on his own Uyun al-Masail. This encyclopedia of the Mutazilite theology includes quotations from earlier Mutazilite texts, many of which are now lost, and covers the history of the various theological schools. The doctrines of the Bahshamiyya school of thought had significant influence on various groups outside the mainstream Sunni Islam, including the Zaydiyya, Imamiyya, and Karaites. Many Zaydi scholars studied the key figures of the Bahshamiyya. For instance, the al-Buthani brothers, al-Mu'ayyid Billah and al-Natiq bil-Haqq, they learned from Abu Abdullah al-Basri and Abdul Jabbar. In the 12th century, Mutazilite works by Abdul Jabbar and his student from the Caspian Zaydi region made their way to Yemen, and notably the library of the Imam al-Mansur Billah Abdullah ibn Hamza in Sana'a contained many of these works. And in 1951, an Egyptian scientific expedition led by Khalil Yahya Nami procured the microfilms of the several Mutazilite texts, including the 14 volumes of the Abdul Jabbar's al-Mughni and the works by Abu Rashid al-Nishaburi and Ibn Mattawai Kitab al-Tadhkira. Many of these texts were published in Egypt during 1960s, and that has, of course, sparked the resurgence in Mutazilite studies and Mutazilite thought. Mutazilite ideas, particularly their emphasis on theodicy, human free will, and God's oneness, Tawheed, also resonated with the Jewish thinkers. The Karaite scholar Levi bin Yafet, also known as the Abu Sa'id Levi bin Hassan al-Basri, wrote Kitab al-Ni'ma, the book of blessings, based on the Mutazilite rational theology. While his father, Yafet ibn Ali, opposed the Islamic Mutazilite thought, Levi adopted its doctrines and acknowledged Muhammad, peace be upon him, as the prophet, though ranking him below Moses. Evidence for when and why Jewish thinkers started adopting Mutazilite ideas and thought can be found in the Jewish copies of the Mutazilite works, especially those preserved in the CIISR collections. Though a complete inventory of this Mutazilite material is still needed, it appears that the works of the Buwayyid Wazir Sahib ibn Abbad are among the earliest Muslim Mutazilite texts found in Jewish collections. And this suggests that the shift towards Mutazilism among Jewish thinkers occurred or happened in the late 10th century. And Levi bin Yafet's theological summa was soon overshadowed by the writings of the Samuel ben Hofni and his Karaite rival Abu Yaqub Yusuf al-Basir. These later Kalam works became influential among the Karaites. Mutazilite ideas remained central to the Rabbanite community until the mid-12th century and continued to shape the Karaite thought throughout the 7th century, especially in the Byzantine Karaite community, where many Arabic works were translated into Hebrew. With that, we conclude today's exploration into the Bahshamiyya school of thought and its pivotal role, or its pivotal influence on the broader Mutazilite movement and Shiite theology. The Bahshamiyya, particularly under the figures like Abū Hāshim al-Jubbā'ī and his successors, introduced the sophisticated theological framework that resonated deeply within the Zaidi and Twelver Shia traditions. This cross-pollination between Mutazilism and Shi'ism represents one of the earliest reception of a rationalist framework into Shiite thought, making a major theological development. In our next episode, we will continue this fascinating exploration by examining the major contributions of Abū Hāshim and his successors to both Mutazilism and Shi'ism and how their ideas shaped future theological debates. So stay tuned and please don't miss it. Thank you for watching.